Welcome to the Take It Home podcast. The podcast so bad we really just need to take it home. I am one of your hosts, Doc Simmons. You can find me on all social media at Doc Simmons17. And to go on with introductions, I'll give the hot tag to my partner, Zach.
Yep. It's Zach Hendricks. You can find me on all social media as Z Hendricks Brand, or find Doc and I at Country Air Official for Facebook and Instagram, and Country Air Brand on Twitter. And now let's move on to the monster of the group.
Hi, I'm Gunnar Wicks. You can catch me on all the social medias at Gunnar Wicks. I'm trying to push the TikTok social media lately, so if you can give me a follow on there, that'd be sweet.
Yeah, so you're playing some video games. Yeah,
a little bit of Call of Duty. I like to throw down on that in my free time. But my TikTok's been, I posted that one video at the very beginning when I created the account with the changing into our gear. I haven't posted a video on there since, so I'm gonna try to get in with the new kids and post some content on there.
You one of them young boys.
Speaking of young boys, pass it on to Perch.
It's as smooth as they come, brother. I'm Perch, Ref Perch. You can find me at PerchXLV. Pound sign for the Ref brand, and Waffles. Take It Home podcast.
Waffles all around.
Waffles, pancakes. The stacks were high this weekend, baby.
Were they? I did not have it. Lots of sausage sandwiches this weekend.
Ooh.
Got some quality sausages from New York. So been pounding those. Good stuff. All right.
Ooh, it hits you in the right meal, especially for Wisconsin.
But let's go ahead and kick it off with our usual first segment. Perch, why don't you let us know what the banger of the week is?
Oh, the banger of the week. It's an oldie, but a goodie. May remember it from a certain movie. Others may have just heard it on the radio, and a lot of people may have never heard it. But this banger of the week comes from Bob Dylan, and the song is "The Man in Me."
Yo.
A classic one. I first heard in the movie The Big Lebowski.
Mm-hmm.
When the dude gets knocked out and goes into a dreamland, and it's about as wild as it gets. But as he gets punched out, he falls asleep listening to his Bob Dylan mixtape. So "The Man in Me" ends up being the song that's playing, and I'll hear it every once in a while on a summer day, and it hits the right spot.
And I always think Bob Dylan is one of those artists that perfectly encapsulates the era he was in. Like, anytime I hear his music, it always takes me back to that time, though I'm not from that time.
No, absolutely. Those good artists. He's always been one of my favorites of all time. I had the chance to see him once too. Just a legend, and good storytelling in his music. In the storytelling business, which we all love, gotta love a musician like Bob Dylan.
Yes. Gotta love the musician like Bob Dylan. And as far as storytelling, let's move on to some storytelling we might have been watching this week. What have we been watching this week? Gunnar, you're our resident biography expert. What have you been watching?
I am.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, good to know. I should brush up on my biography skills because I feel like I'm not an expert. I've been watching Monday Night Raw from 97 still. My next show up on the list is WrestleMania 13, so I'm pretty excited to watch that. But what I didn't know is that there's this little thing called Thursday Night Raw back in the day.
Ooh, I did not know that either.
Yeah, I was going through
right before marriage with children.
Okay, I was going through watching all the Raws. I was quite enjoying the storyline between Triple H and Goldust.
Mm-hmm.
Triple H had the IC title, and then I was looking forward to the big payoff match for that. And then all of a sudden, I tuned into the next week's Raw, and he lost it. And Goldust had the IC title. I'm searching through the videos, did I miss something? What happened? Come to find out, there's a Thursday Night Raw, and that is where he lost the title.
Oh, damn.
Yep. So not too happy that I've been missing things this whole time, because I knew there's some stuff didn't quite make sense. I just kind of went along with it. But when it came to me looking forward to that big match, not seeing it, finally caught my attention. I know I've been doing something wrong this whole time.
I'm pretty sure they have a WrestleMania payoff that year, so
Yep, it's looking that way. China got introduced not too long ago, so
yeah. Ooh, young China looks a whole lot different.
oh yeah. She's got, dude, I wish I had muscles like China.
Yeah,
I thought you
she
did.
was
She
still
is
built, but
built.
she's so different.
Yeah, body goals for sure. But yeah, that's all I've been watching this week, really.
All right, Zach, what have you been watching?
We're watching like the AEW Dark and Elevation. Just watching that again. Still more old footage of our tag. I watched our actual last tag matches we had for ICW. I might have said that already. We had it last week. No, we had that last week. Never mind. Of course, we already watched that. And watched a little bit of the NWA Power. Always enjoy watching Marche Rocket.
Yeah, good homie. All right, Perch, you're up.
Oh man, what a week! This was a good traveling week. So wrestling kind of came around in spurts. I did some triple A watching through Instagram and Twitter, and really trying to, I guess, connect with the modern kids and how they take in their forms of
Gunner's got TikTok, and you got whatever you can find.
Yeah, I'm a classic. Give me a DVD or a VHS or something, but nowadays, we can consume wrestling through many different forms. And I've been trying to take in as much triple A action as I can through clips and action through Instagram. I don't always have the names for the wrestlers nor the referees, but there are some in particular. Red Suspenders, the gentleman referee, very good at what he does and able to keep the peace in there. And then another gentleman, kind of an older referee, very methodical with the way he, controls the action and the stories that are going on inside. So, yeah, this week was a lot more in-depth, kind of boring to the viewer studying on my end, but it still stood out as being fun. I'd say a tag match I watched on TV was Pentagon earlier in the week. Oh, was it Penta and Pac?
Penta and Pac versus the Young Bucks.
Yeah, against the Young Bucks in there. Dude, that was so good. Just great balls to the wall action the whole time. I mean, you take the Death Triangle. I'll take any two of them, any one of them, all three of them, any day.
Yeah.
So to see them get their chance against the Young Bucks, and it was Frankie Kaz in there too, busting some ass out of nowhere. Oh, I love it. It's like the bounty hunter, and the Elite is on his list as the number one.
Yeah.
I like how Kaz is coming up and saving people and just kicking their ass whenever he can. And Cutler, he's got his number. But those are a few that stuck out to me this week.
All right. I also watched AEW last week. Yeah, that tag match was crazy. Continuing my WrestleMania watch, I just got done with WrestleMania 32. So Roman just beat Triple H for the WWE title. It's just crazy to see where he'll be in 5 years when you hear the reactions at the end of that show to like the reactions he gets now. So
I stood up and I was furious.
You were not the only one. You were not the only one.
Triple H was the champ, man. They took it from him.
Yep.
I love Roman, but Triple H is the man.
Lots of boos to close out that show.
It was great.
So yeah, we watched AEW. Been trying to catch up on New Japan. We watched while we were on the road. We watched a lot of that. I think that was Chuko's first real exposure to New Japan because he was very blown by it's just match after match, no promos. Oh, and I started the Cyber Fight 2021 pay-per-view, which is a Pro Wrestling Noah, DDT Pro, and Tokyo Joshi Pro joint pay-per-view, which so far has been very entertaining, to say the least. Just very entertaining. Just very entertaining show. Like I would say the matches have been all that like amazing, but just how they put together a show has been very interesting, and how all three companies are working together. But that's all I've been watching. In that case, I think we can go on and just talk about our weekends. I know it was a pretty full weekend for most of us. Let's start with Perch, since you had the big one.
Yeah, this was a fun weekend. One I was looking forward to for quite some time. We kicked off action Saturday with Warrior Wrestling at Marian Catholic High School in Chicago Heights. That was an awesome time. The last time we had Warrior show was back in the fall, and times were different. The world was different, but pro wrestling was still going on nonetheless. So fast forward a few more months, again, the world is different, but we have a good outlook at things, and we're ready to be back. We're anxious. Crowds are anxious. Everyone wants to have fun again. So Saturday was a big old celebration of professional wrestling, and lots of good matches. The one that I was assigned to, a couple of them, Beast Man against Congo Kong. It was a lot of mass in that match, and I think Merle had to reinforce the beams under, double boarded, double beamed, had to double ratchet strap just to be safe. Those two went to town, escalated pretty quickly as both of them flew outside the ring. I think Beast Man hooked my foot, carried me out right under him. One thing led to another. I was caught in a tug of war, dangling between these two, just behemoths of monsters. But that was fun. A wild match. I got to run around the field, running for my life from Congo. It was a moment, to say the least. They pulled a superplex in that match, and definitely needed to hold on to the ropes on my end. I was on the ropes from them, but across. And the reverb on that ring, I've never felt anything like it in my life. But yeah, those guys really went to town. Seeing Congo Kong do a suicide dive was mind-blowing.
Yeah, he can move.
Oh, he moves, and don't be standing in the way.
I can attest.
He's a wild wrestler in there, and cool to be in there. You've been in there, right, Gunner? With Kong. How was your experience?
Beginning of the match, well, not beginning, before the match started, seemed like a pretty nice guy, but similar to myself, once the face paint goes on, not a nice guy. Not a nice guy at all.
Yeah, at that point he just wants flesh, human flesh, to destroy.
Yep. And he is, for his size, he's damn quick. Can be quick.
Yeah. So that was a fun time. I know Mav has had encounters with him. You've had encounters with him. Was glad to have a match there too. And then the main event of the evening was a wild 8-man Lucha War of Attrition match to crown the first ever Warrior Wrestling Lucha champion. 8 luchadors, 3 pinfalls, 1 champion. It was probably about a 45-minute match all in all, and it was wild. Been trying my best to study the form of lucha and submerge myself into it, understanding the ins and outs and the culture, and understanding, I guess, the reasoning to what goes on inside the ring. And it's definitely helped for a moment, like the main event at Warrior, but I'm still learning and still taking a lot. So to have an experience like that was amazing. I was able to take a lot of notes coming out of it, and learn a lot about kind of how to call a lucha match, let alone keep your head in one place and keep everyone else's head in one place. Ended up being won by Aramis, which he did some unbelievable stuff throughout the match. Well-deserving champion. Really, any one of those luchadors would have been well-deserving of the championship, and the performance they put on that night was amazing, awesome to be a part of. So that was a very fun Warrior Wrestling show on Saturday. I catch the replay on Fight TV, and then Sunday was Galley Lucha in Chicago as well, and had a few matches, a good 4-way match, and that was fun. Atomico Jr., Jake Painter, Jake Lander, and I forget the name of the fourth gentleman. And it ends with Atomico Jr. hitting a nice power bomb to a Kamagoye. It was pretty cool. I enjoyed it. A good lights out finish, and that was the first match. And then the last one I had that night was a tag team match for the Galley Lucha tag team championships. Gringo Loco and Golden Dragon, the champions, taking on Arez and Aramis.
Some familiar faces you would have run into the night before.
Yeah. So a couple of people I had a little bit of a rapport with. 4 of them were in the match from the day before. I got to use some of my new learned Spanish that I've been learning on the fly, and ask how they were doing, how they're feeling, how they're doing, coming into today, and kind of, get the feel of it all. So it was a great experience, more learning as well. And we got new champions, new tag team champions. Aramis and Arez end up taking the titles in a wild match.
Those two in the finals for the Lucha title, and then coming together the next day to win the Galley tag titles.
Yeah, I mean, just like any team, any sport, you come in hot, and there's no telling. Don't stand in the way. There's no telling what you can accomplish. A little bit of confidence goes a long ways in pro wrestling, and they rode in on a hot streak and rolled right through and took those titles. It was great, a great weekend all around. Can't tell you how much I learned, how much I took out of it, how much fun it was. Stay tuned for lots of pictures. Got to see 3 Count over the weekend, our pal from the podcast. Got to see Brainbuster, Basil, Nick with a photo or camera guy gimmick. A lot of good people all the way around. Just recharges that passion for pro wrestling like it usually does, but even more with a weekend like this. So very fun.
Yep, good weekends make it worth it. Gunnar, why don't you talk about your weekend?
I did nothing. So nothing wrestling related. Not a lot to talk about.
Okay.
Typical, went to the gym every day. That's about it. Relaxed. Getting ready for the summer. Can't wait until I'm wrestling every weekend again. It'll be fun.
Yep. You set up that TikTok?
Yep. Got the TikTok going. But yeah, that's about it. Watched Raw, like I discussed earlier, but yeah, no actual wrestling.
Okay. All right, then. I'll start off first. Me and Zach were in Indiana all weekend. Friday, we were in Bourbon, Indiana for WTF for Merle. Had ourselves a great tag team match against Joey Avalon and Sierra. went balls to the wall. It was a fun one. We definitely got to do it again. What did you think, Zach?
Oh yeah, definitely was a fun match. It was one of those like we went out to Bourbon and like we got like we wrestled them, but it was a different environment. I love the Bourbon, Indiana shows. Merle always treats us so well, and like we get a little bit more like freedom in what we want to do and have a little bit more fun and try new things. And I thought we had the crowd the entire time, and yeah, super fun match.
Yep. That was my first time wrestling Sierra. So that was one to knock off the list. That was my second match against Joey at all. So good to get that one back again. Unfortunately, I took a cutter and a pretty sick kick, and they came up with the win. But then we went to Merrim Bluff, Indiana the next day. And why don't you let them know what happened, Zach?
Yeah, we went down to Merrill Bluff for New Wave Pro, ran by Earl Joseph, really good guy. A guy that anytime me and Doc see, he always makes us feel like never makes us feel like we're outsiders. Always makes us feel like we're right at home. So thank you, Earl.
Yeah, big homie, big. He is so welcoming every time.
Yeah, like he got to like where Chuko asked, he's like, "How old do you guys know him?" Like we met him like a while, like not that long ago, but just like how he is, man. He's just such a great person to be around.
Yeah,
He just has that natural friendly
energy, like super
and
positive. Hates on Pop Tarts, but that's understandable.
Yeah,
What?
Yeah,
But
not a fan of the Pop Tarts.
yeah,
Some people.
I don't blame him. That means just an opportunity for us to take out his tag champs, the Tart Foundation.
Yeah.
Pop Tart. But me and Doc, we got the debut for New Wave. It was a singles match. It was your mama's favorite tag team, Zach Hendricks, with Doc in his corner against Chuko in a singles match. And it was a fun match, Doc had the score bottle out there, keep making sure we stay hydrated, making sure we stay fresh.
Yeah, because it was super hot. I was so happy I was not in that ring, actually.
Yeah. Chuko, I mean, I thought everything was spot on. Like everything like we were doing was spot on. We were hitting hard. Everything was going good, and of course, everything goes better when we win. So
yeah, that's what's most important.
and I got to hit my.
Came out with the win. Do you have a name for your new finisher yet?
I have no idea what the name is. I just know it looks super pretty, so I feel really good about it.
All right, so yeah, Zach hits the swinging flatliner for the win. He'll come up with a name later.
The swinging on the days flatliner. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean it was a great show. It was good to get to feel. It was a little fair show down there. It was good to get a feel for basically what the rest of our summer is going to look like.
Yeah, Earl told us like we've been trying to talk to Earl about doing some new wave shows, and I think now that like he's seen us and knows that we won't make that drive, like he told us he's gonna get in contact with us for more dates, and then talk to us about eventually being able to wrestle the Tart Foundation. That's the tag team I'm looking forward to wrestling.
Yep. I've seen a lot of at least Aaron Atlas's stuff, so definitely somebody that I would like to tie it up with.
Yeah, and then I worked Matt Barrington at FTW, and like he's just a great guy to work with, so that'd be a fun match to do.
Definitely. So
yeah,
there's a lots of business done for your mama's favorite tag team this weekend in Indiana, and to the Indiana fans, hopefully you'll be seeing a lot more of us.
Oh yeah, and of course on the drive home we did get to watch Perch on Fight TV. So
yes, we did. Yes, we did watch. I didn't bring that up when we were talking about what we watched, but yes, we did end up watching the Warrior show.
We took the last three matches: Kylie, Trey's, and the Lucha match. Yep. They're all very entertaining. Except some of Lucha's, Perch, I don't know how like you didn't have a panic attack, because some of those dives were very scary.
Yes, they were. That's the thing about Lucha is it's a whole different style altogether. It takes those different elements, that element of fear, that element of risk, that element of anything can happen, death could happen at any moment. Yeah, it's outrageous. It takes a lot of adjustments to get used to that mind state.
Yeah, woo, the homie Dragonbane. I'm a big fan of his. But woo, I'm happy he landed on his feet.
Oh yeah,
That was a
yeah.
scary one.
When it comes to lucha matches, some of them can be the most unbelievable, flawless, um, technical pieces of art. And other times you can have the flawlessness go out the window and it looks a little bit rough. It looks a little bit rigid. And oh my God, if that does not intensify every single moment and get everyone on the edge of their seat a little bit more for the next thing that's going to happen. Yeah, it all just adds to the elements of how wild and crazy that kind of environment can be.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, so good weekends for everybody. Let's keep this hot 2021 going and continue to work hard and continue to be the best that we can be. But I guess we can move on to the question I posed to the group. I wanted everybody to talk about, you don't have to name names, but a bad match you think you've had, but that you've learned a lot from and what you learned from it. Or just a match that just didn't go the way you think it should have.
All my matches.
Yeah, it's very easy for. I'm sure this is going to be a very easy subject for our group, who generally hates everything that they do. I will go first. Like I said, we won't name names, but this was in like my first year. It was a tag match, and I know we've gone and we've talked about like our inspiration for moves and how we come up with things. But in that first year, when you really don't know what you're doing, it's very hard to come up with a plan of attack. And I think this tag match that I had in my first year was the one that made me sit down and think, hey, you need to find your 5 moves of death yesterday. It was just wasn't even I don't want to say that there was too much going on, but if everybody, just one of those like, hey, if we all know what everybody's doing, it's a lot easier instead of trying to guess what me, the green kid, can do. And I think that has helped me a lot and has helped me define my style. That match in particularly helped me define my style over the last 2 years from then. So that is my experience with a bad match. Let's go to Perch.
Yeah, and this is an interesting question because, in just about any profession, especially our profession, professional wrestling, we learn from our mistakes, which means we have to be okay with failing. But that doesn't come without putting in the work and the effort and the sacrifices that go along with it just to earn the opportunity to fail. So, that being said, we try and salvage everything we can out of every situation. When things go well, we try to take it in and dissect why it does. When things don't go well, again, we try and take it in and dissect why it doesn't. There's countless instances that I can think of or bring up, things I remember and lessons that I've learned from just about any match, but especially when things go a little bit south or something doesn't go as you wanted it to, or we put in all that preparation and we train hard and we work our asses off, and when it doesn't quite translate to being on top of it inside the ring, it can be met with a lot of emotions. So in times where something or a match, something doesn't go right, I think it's best to not be afraid of it. and not to you may feel like the smallest person in the room, and the quickest way is to just exit right out the front door and let's just take off and I'll never see these people again.
Screw you guys, I'm going home.
Yes, I'm going home. Because that may be the path of least resistance. But what it comes down to is whether it goes well or it doesn't go well, you still go back through that, through the curtain, and you figure it out with the people you need to, whether your trainer's there or whether people that you trust in and find your confidence in. You have to find them at that moment to try and dissect what you can take out of it. Maybe you get a little verbal lashing, and you're supposed to do be ready, and you weren't. You're supposed to be prepared, and you're not. We learn a lot of lessons in this business, and by failing, we can't just run away from it. So even when a match goes wrong, or an instance is not what we saw coming, we have to man up, talk it out with everybody involved, and work towards a solution. Because sometimes it doesn't matter whose fault it is. It just matters that we address it and we all get better in the long run. So, no one's in particular, but that mind state is always there for whenever it happens, because moments happen all the time. Yeah. Great moments and bad moments.
Yeah, bad moments happen in every match, to the few listeners that listen to us. So I completely understand that it's hard to pick one. Trust me, it happens every match.
And we're trying our best to put in the work to give it everything we got to give the fans the best experience they can have. So whether fans think they see mistakes or don't see mistakes, that's not pertinent to me in particular, because I know what I'm focused on and I know what I need to do to give those fans the best experience they can have. So
those are the ones that kind of hurt the most, is when you made a mistake and kind of the fans are still into it, but they would be into it more had you not made that mistake. It's like, you're just so close to where I want you to be.
Yeah, in an emotion business, and we perform off of emotion, and we react off of emotion, and we make fans off of emotion. It's tough when the emotion isn't a good one, when it's a sad one or a dejected moment, or we wanted so hard for it to be like this, and
a lack of emotion.
Yeah. So it was a very interesting question when you posed it, and I just thought I would kind of give my little insight into just the thought or a little bit of the process as to when those moments happen, whether it's big, small. There's always going to be something, but it comes down to how you process it, and how you take it coming out of it, because we all make mistakes, but that's how we learn. And we learn not to make that same mistake again, and it helps us understand principles of the business we didn't know before.
Damn right. All right, Outlaw, what do you got?
I guess we'll go with one of my in my first year when I finally got to start branching out and doing other promotions, and kind of realize probably realized I probably I guess maybe I wasn't as raised as I thought I should have been doing some of these other promotion. I learned from one of the matches I did. I'm not going to say where, I'm not going to say who against, but it was actually against a guy who I have a lot of respect for now. Now me and him are good friends, always gives me advice. He gave me advice back then, but I remember just being really annoyed with this match, and learning and I learned from that match, don't let other people call your stuff. Don't let other people call your shit. And not everything needs to be play by play. I was a babyface in this match. They knew I was young, very new. Um, I was told by a lot of people I didn't have much in. It looked like a glorified squash. I just like had no fire, no fight back, and I remember just leaving that match where like I lost and no one cared. Um, I was a baby face, no one gave a damn about me. They were like happy I lost and like just thinking like was super pissed off, super upset with myself. But going back and watching the match and like kind of realizing stuff, I think I talked to Dre about it too. Want to talk to Dre about this match because some people they gave me advice on like what I needed to do moving forward. But yeah, I just remember not having no fight in that match and letting someone call stuff that I don't normally do. And that was like a big like early lesson I learned. Like, hey, like don't let people call your shit. Go with what you feel is right. And yeah.
No, yep. Like I said, gotta have your 5 moves of doom. Like that. Like I think that is a big lesson that you learn in your first year. At some point, is you have to call your own stuff. It's not that people aren't looking out for you, but you just.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Like the guy who I'm talking about, if you like is so I've been listening because he probably knows who I'm talking about. It was not him trying to like. It was probably more me not having confidence in myself, which is another thing. Like, and like he probably knew he could pull a good match out of me. At the time, I was too like I didn't have the confidence. Like he would. I've worked in like since then, and we've had good matches. So like, yeah, he's always been like a guy like who's always helped me out and always been like good to me. So if you're listening, you know who you are. Don't think like I'm talking bad about myself.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
about you.
No, yeah.
Right.
These instances, it's us. It's not the guys who, like, yeah. The same thing with my tag match. It's not necessarily like we're off kilter because I'm not confident, not because of anything that they're doing. They are doing their best to make me feel comfortable in this situation, and just because it's not my stuff is causing that disconnect.
Exactly. I just
That's all it is. It's not anybody. It's like they're doing their best. I just suck. Gunner, why don't you go next?
You missed the opportunity for a great transition there, Doc. Speaking of suck, Gunner, you go next. Let's see here. Yeah, so there's a lot of matches that I thought of, but the first one that came to my mind was my first singles match at ICW. It was not great at all, pretty bad. Kind of like what you guys talked about before, like this is not like blaming the other person. I think in wrestling, when we have bad performances, it's always best to like look at yourself first and take responsibility before you go pointing fingers like, oh, this guy sucked, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always like, no, I suck. What could I have done better to make that match go more according to plan? But yeah, I think it was like my 8th or 9th match or something like that, maybe, that I ever had. And up to that point, every match I had, I knew was better than the last one. So that was always like a big focus point of mine, is make this match better than the last one. And every match up to that point, I felt like was better than my last one. And that was the first match I had where it did not feel like that way. So I got like really down on myself about it because there's like no improvement there. But now looking back, my thinking about matches has changed a little bit, as in I don't really put too much stock into thinking about if my last match was better, or if my last match was better than the match I had before, because that's not always going to happen. But it's more of, did that match make me a better performer than before? And usually the case to that, or the answer to that question, is still yes. So that's good. But yeah, that match was really not great. Me and the other guy had like no chemistry, and up to that point too, I was working with like either people who have been wrestling a really long time or people from camp. So the people I wrestled with, like, I had good chemistry with, I felt like, and that was the first match where I didn't. So that was just a big lesson for me in thinking about how I think of my own progress as a wrestler, and also that not everybody you wrestle you're going to have great chemistry with. So you have to kind of like work around that sometimes, or just go in knowing that there may be blunders and be prepared to overcome them.
Definitely. Yeah. Chemistry is a rough thing. And in the match that I brought up, I think chemistry was also a big thing in that match. But I have since wrestled all those people, and I think we have much better chemistry now. Sometimes it just takes time.
Yeah, I wish I could go back and have another match with this dude, because I feel like it would be way, way better than. Well, I think anything would be way better than what we had before. But yeah, and like also now back then I was not good at thinking on my feet at all. If something didn't go according to how I thought it was going to go, I basically kind of like froze.
Yeah.
And nowadays that definitely does not happen. So yeah, it'd be cool if we could get that one back at some point.
Small side tangent. So we were at the New Wave Pro show, and they had a battle royal for all their students who were definitely like in their first couple months, and that was the thing that was readily apparent, is when things didn't go the way that they planned, how often they froze.
That's such like a common new person mistake, and like it's still something that I'm like kind of like, I'm at the point now, I feel like, where I no longer just like freeze up, thankfully.
Yeah.
But there's always moments that like don't go to plan, and then you correct them and it gets better. But then you look back at the match afterwards and it's like, I thought of something on my feet there, so I'm proud of myself. But
yeah,
if I would have thought of this during the moment, it would have been way more better.
Yeah. Like, yeah, you're proud of yourself for like, I think we're at that point now where we're getting more comfortable calling stuff on the fly, and I'm really just like adjusting to when things go wrong. But now you have that moment later where it's like, God, there was an easier solution to this, or a better solution to this.
And that's like one of the, for me, the biggest things. Like throughout wrestling, you always kind of have like these light bulb goes on moments, and oftentimes like it's hard to tell when like you finally understand like a concept and the light bulb does go on. But the easiest way to tell that is when you do have those moments of when you do think on your feet and you do make a good decision. It's like so awesome to have that feeling like, oh damn, I would not have done that a couple months ago, and now I did it.
There's
Yeah,
no way for a light bulb to happen.
like they have
Yeah, there's a lot of light bulbs. Like I feel it's not like
they're not all
magically one
they're
time.
not all bright. They're not all as bright as they could be, but they're there.
It's like a string of Christmas lights, and slowly but surely they're being turned on.
Yeah, you know, some are flickering on and off, but it's there. The light is there.
Yep. Hopefully one day we'll have the whole damn Christmas tree lit up.
Yeah, we can only hope. All right. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Well, in that case, I think we can go ahead and move on to talking about what we got coming up this week. Let's start with Gunner.
I'm glad you started with me, because like my answer what I did last week, nothing. Back to the gym again, working on getting my hamstring better. It's been pretty good the last couple weeks, which is something I've been able to say for the last few months. So yeah, just continuing to get in the gym, get better, stretch, get the body to feel right, getting prepared for the shows over the summer.
Yeah, we got a gauntlet coming up. Perch, what you got coming up this weekend?
Well, this is another wild week coming up here. Starting Thursday night, we'll be at Zello Pro at Ozinga Field down in Illinois. Right back at it Friday in Bourbon Street for AAW, and that should be a fun time too. I think we're right back to doing some tapings and a live show on Twitch. That should all begin probably around 7ish or so. Stay tuned to the old social medias, and then Sunday we're right back at Galley Lucha for another wild Sunday of Lucha Libre action. So 3 days, Thursday, Friday, Sunday, and should be a good good experience all the way around. A lot of running around, a lot of pushing the body and pushing the waking up and staying awake to the limits, which is always fun. And it helps us stay diligent at everything we do.
Very good. I will start off. For the early Saturday, I will be at Zawa down in Deer Grove, defending my Fireweight Championship against Berna. This is the second match against Berna. First match went really well, and I came up with the win, and I don't expect anything different to happen on Saturday. It's like, and as well as talking about chemistry, I think our styles complement each other very well, and I expect this to be exactly what the Fireweight division is supposed to be. Zach, why don't you talk about what we got going on later that Saturday?
Yep. Also Saturday, you can find your mama's favorite tag team out in Michigan City, Indiana for Chicagoland Wrestling. We find ourselves in a big 6-man tag. It'll be me and Doc tagging Doc and I. Sorry, Maverick. I know you're grammatically correcting me because you're listening to our Take It Home podcast like you always do. Such a good supporter, such a good fan, Mav Boom.
Yep, that's why I still put his social media information in the description, because he's such a loyal fan.
Such a loyal fan.
I'm lazy and just copy and paste everything.
Oh, yeah. But, yeah, Doc and I are going to be tagging with Gunner Brave, a man that Doc's tagged with before at RCCW. And we'll be taking on the team of the Sin City Playboys, which is the worst boy band name I've ever heard of. I expect a huge debut for us, and your mama's favorite tag team doing what we do best and putting the tag team division on notice with a big win. And we can't tell everyone what we're doing Friday, but Friday, Doc and I have some top secret Ninja Country Air stuff we're doing. And it'll probably be revealed in upcoming weeks. But yeah, some top secret Ninja stuff.
Yep. So keep an eye out for that. Keep an eye out on that Country Air official and Country Air brand social media, because we will certainly be posting it in the coming weeks.
Also, upcoming weekend, I miss slacking, but for those who like actually watch our YouTube channel, our vlog will be up for our May vlog. She'll be up.
Yes. Shout out to Zach for working on that, because I do the other stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll be up this weekend too. So lots of stuff coming from Country Air that is not wrestling related in the upcoming weeks. So keep an eye out. And on that note, I think we can start to head towards the finish if Gunner has a question.
I do have a question. So now that my leg's feeling better and I can get back to doing some lifts that I haven't been able to do for a while, got me to thinking, what is your guys' favorite exercise and least favorite exercise?
Ooh.
This could be just like a lift. This can be something that's not related to weightlifting in any way. I'll go first. My favorite, give you guys some time to think. My favorite is deadlift. Love to deadlift. It's probably my strongest weightlifting movement. Well, it definitely is my strongest weightlifting movement. Makes me feel all big and monstery. And lately, I've not been able to do that because of the leg. And now I'm slowly getting back into it and trying to build that weight up. So I'm feeling quite happy about it. And my least favorite is burpees. I fucking hate burpees. Which is kind of weird, because the movement of a burpee,
very similar to a deadlift. Half of it is deadlift.
Exactly. Which is probably why I hate them so much, because I do deadlift so often that those muscles are usually sore, and then just doing a bunch of burpees in a row, like plus all the cardio that involves, just not a fun time.
Half of the same muscles.
Yep. I just prefer to do them like half as much in terms of reps and just with weight, I guess.
Yeah. That's fair. For me, my favorite workout is probably going to be lat pull downs. Love those.
That's good.
Yep. Love a good back workout. I think my back is my best aesthetic body part, so love working that and making that just look better. My least favorite is I'm probably gonna go with burpees as well, but it's only burpees when it's at somebody else's pace.
Like at camp when we all do burpees at the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
time.
Like that's when I hate burpees. And we got to do them all together. Like if it was just, hey, do 25 burpees on your own, no problem. But
I agree with that, actually. I think that might be part of the reason why I do hate that so much too, is because it's
we have to all go together. If I was just going, not saying I would do it any faster or any slower, but I always think it's harder to go at somebody else's pace than the pace you feel comfortable. So as far as exercises going at somebody else's pace, I think burpees are the worst. Dr. Perch?
For least favorite, I guess like I mean, like this sounds like a weird answer, but like I've always learned to like love the things I hate from like amateur wrestling. Like growing up, I hated power cleans, but then I started realizing like how much everyone else hated power cleans, so I started doing power cleans just because I thought if everyone doesn't want to do this, and I start doing this, like I have a leg up on the competition. Granted, my physically fit physique that everyone knows I have doesn't really tell people I do those. But no, I would agree with the burpees just on the fact of like it's probably just like the camp burpees. Like again, going at someone else's pace can always ruin your rhythm, especially like when you get your mind set into something. So I can't really say I have a least favorite workout. But my favorite workout, I love running. As much as like I said, my physical physique body doesn't show that. I love running. I love cardio. I love I haven't done it lately, but like running more on the street. Last couple of times I've done it, I've twisted my ankle because I have very delicate ankles, especially the left ankle.
delicate.
Very dainty. He's
dainty.
my little Cinderella.
My left ankle is garbage. One day it's gonna snap. But I love cardio. I like getting if I'm running on the street, I love like finding a good playlist and really getting down to it, thinking of just losing myself and even like when you're like, oh, I'm gonna be done, and next thing you have another song you like, keep going. Or at the gym, it's a good spot where I can run on the treadmill and watch a lot of my old tapes and like really critique the hell out of myself.
All right.
Music and cardio is such a great combination.
Yeah.
Like doing just running without headphones.
Oh, it's
completely sucks ass.
It's satanic.
So I did like 6 years in the military, and like every year you have to do a physical, like a PT. It's called a APFT. It's like your fitness test. You have to have a passing record once a year, and like you have to do as many push-ups as you can in 2 minutes, as many sit-ups as you can in 2 minutes. You have to run 2 miles. You have to meet certain criterias, and just doing the 2 mile run, I hated. Just everyone's like, oh, like it's not bad. You're only running 2 miles. It's like, no, I hate the fact that I'm running with a group of guys, and all I hear is, if you guys let me have some music, I would be down. I'd enjoy it. Like it was, yeah. I mean, I never did bad on the 2 mile run or nothing. Just one of those where it's like when you're running and you have no music, especially like when you're doing something like that, where like you just don't go for a run and you can stop whenever you want. Like there's a set, like a destination where you have to run. And now all your mind is like, I have to get here. I have to get here. I have to get here, instead of enjoying the process.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a great thing about music is that you can run with music and kind of take your mind to another place where you don't have to focus on running and kind of put your body on autopilot. And then when you don't have that music to kind of like take your mind off it, then you're just fully aware and present in the moment and hating your life.
Like, yeah, you're just alone with your thoughts and nobody wants that.
No, sir.
Yeah. Like the thing that sucks is I don't know where it went, but if someone found my Beats down in Florida, you're lucky, because like I cannot find a good pair of headphones that don't break. Like all these cheap headphones I get from Walmart, always one that your ears go out. So now I eventually have to save up and get a nice new pair of headphones to go running with, because
headphones are expensive.
Yeah, especially if like you want a good one.
Yeah. All right. Perch, our very buff referee. What's your workout plan looking like?
Least favorite workout of any sort comes with, similar to what you said, Doc, to someone else's pace. Nothing more frustrating, nor irritating, nor painful than rushing through any kind of drill or a routine, push-ups, sit-ups, any kind of a workout routine. Going to someone else's pace can be a bit challenging. If everyone else is on the same page, great. However, I take a while. I like to take my own time. I like to make sure I do the form right, especially for doing something, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 times. I'll take it slow and make sure I do 5 good ones at a time and just repeat that over the course of 10. So least favorite would be going too fast because someone else's pace. So I like to take it to my own pace. And favorite, anything to do with working out would be when I get to at my brother's gym, the dungeon, the good old fashioned broski dungeon. We do some good lifting. I always have at his house. Our workout area has changed over the years. It's probably the nicest setup we've had right now. So anytime I get over to my brother's place, we always find time to get in a nice workout session. It's at our own pace, at our own time, as calm and tranquil as it gets.
No, I
That's my
totally
fave.
get it. I have a gym in my basement, and I'm not going back from that.
I envy you.
Yeah, it's
Those
great.
are life goals. My cousins have a amazing gym in their basement. I'm talking like they spent some money on some gym equipment, and then like they'll tell me like, yeah, I'm gonna go to the gym, and anytime I come visit, I'm like, why are you going to the gym? Like, you have everything you need in a gym in your basement, and it's a beautiful like setup, and you rather go to a gym.
Yeah, there's probably like maybe 2 more pieces of equipment I want in here, but it wouldn't fit in this, so it's just gotta wait till we get a bigger place. But enjoy my gym setup. Yeah, I like highly recommended. Get a home gym. It's the best feeling. Once you work out in your pajamas, there's no going back.
It just starts with basic equipment too. All you need is just one weight to
Yeah.
start.
Yep.
You build upon it and you build, and before you know it, you have yourself a nice little routine built out.
Yep. And to anybody, because I mean, I know Chrissy Ross, longtime listener, brought this up as far as looking out for her son and how to get him into working out. Black Friday deals on Amazon for workout equipment, highly recommend. I usually build up to about that time when I'm looking for stuff. That's how I got my squat rack pretty cheap. So anybody out there who's looking to get into working out or getting their own home workout equipment pretty cheap, Black Friday or Cyber Monday, Amazon, highly recommend it.
Yeah, I'm gonna use Doc when it comes time for that. Start saving up and have Doc help me out with that.
Yeah, it's fine. And otherwise, always welcome to come over.
I mean,
The
yeah.
problem with that, Doc, is you need to live closer to us.
That sounds like a personal problem, brother.
Like my gym's a 5 minute drive away compared to like as much as I love working out with the goat. And don't let him lie, like he doesn't work out in his pajamas. He's always in his trunks. It's just weird when he's wearing trunks and flip flops.
Like, are we talking wrestling trunks?
Oh yeah, he's in his wrestling trunks, bro, and like either flip flops or his bunny slippers. Don't let him lie to you guys. Like I know he's trying to like put on like he like is
Yo,
just,
I'm in battle mode all the time. Bunny slippers. Y'all just don't know.
they're fuzzy as hell. I went out there and Doc's like, "You gonna get your trunks?" I'm like, "Bro, oh no. Don't let the man fool you."
All right, and I think on the preview to our future Country Air OnlyFans, we can go ahead and take that home.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, this has been the Take It Home podcast. Y'all be easy. 1.
Yeah.